My chosen teacher is Michael Venus, and he's Filipino. He's around my height, 5'6", and he also graduated from Farrington. He was my Algebra 2 teacher in senior year of high school, and he's the youngest teacher I've ever had, making him pretty close to my age group. He made me feel open in class, and I felt more engaged in class discussion. Because prior to that, I was really a quiet kid. I didn't really talk a lot. I just did my work, and I think that started when I was like in first grade. I used to be very well. Prior to being quiet, I was a very disruptive, noisy student, and I guess my teacher was just so fed up with it that she was like, you know what, Daniel, you can find yourself another classroom. So I packed my bags, found my stuff, and I went out. And I was just crying outside because I was so afraid and that never happened to me. And I ended up going back to her classroom, and then till that day, I've been quiet, following the rules. And Michael Venus, he was that type of teacher who broke that barrier. And now I'm trying to be more outspoken in all of my classes. But yeah, going back to him, like the classroom environment, for me, it was just less tense than any other type of class I've ever had. So me and Michael were close, but we kept that student and teacher boundaries. One teaching strategy I really like is that, well, in math, they they go through the same type of lesson plan. It's start off with a lecture, and then they have classwork or homework in the middle, and then they have test in the end, and it will constantly be like that throughout the whole year. So Michael Venus did that plus more. He he made projects who like that like expanded the way you think. So one example was it was a part we had partners, and I was partnered with my best friend, and me and her we had to make a song that was about math. So our topic was about slopes, and we made it. It was like a parody of from a rock song. I think it was the All American Rejects, and we just had to find little bits of detail to make it to make it make to make it logical and I guess catchy at the same time. It was really interesting. And another project we did is that we had to make a book, and it had to be about math again. And it was about some girl with stomach problems, and she talked to her mom, and she said that she had to do she had to do math problems for her stomach ache to go away. Michael said it was corny, but we got the we got all of the points, which mattered at the time. Another teaching strategy I really liked was the way he gave incentives. It wasn't like food or anything. It was this thing. It was called Mathematician of the Month. And if you were that student who had the highest grade in class, he would put you off on the side at the end of the month, take a picture of you, and I posted it on the top portion of his wall. And after that first one I had, I was like, oh, I want to be the best throughout the whole year. So I did that, and in the last month, I was me and this foreigner from China. We was like going back and back. It's like, oh, he had the highest grade, and then I had the highest grade, and we was going back to back, and we just ended up being both the mathematician at like 97.3% or something And I just like the way how that incentive just pushed me into being better, turning in quality work and finding all the small little extra credit to have a higher percentage. Just it was just interesting how that would happen. And switching focus to the inspiration impact, you know, I was already in the teaching academy, and I already decided that I wanted to be a secondary math teacher. So when I had this class, I was thinking about myself and how I would teach a math course, and it just blew my mind the way he did it. It was like, wow, I didn't know I could teach like this because I had that lecture, classwork, test mentality. It was so cool that he was able to just make projects that would would be different. It was catchy. It was interesting, and he inspired me by inspiring me, meaning that he was that type of teacher. Well, I want to be that type of teacher who would inspire my students just to come to class and wanting to learn. Yeah, and yeah, it was cool that I was that type of student. And again, I want that. I want to be that teacher who did that. It also made me fantasize the type of incentives that I want to do too. So right now I have this idea where for my future students, for that I would that my student would make a character with class specifications like a warrior or a cleric, and that would be the way. Oh, well, every time they come to class and they do the work, they got experience points, and with enough experience points, they would level up, become stronger, and that would be the way I would give out extra credit by letting them duel by doing math problems. It sounds cool, and it's something I want to push forward. It's just a thought right now. I'll finalize it later, but just always think about that, and I think that would be. Well, I hope that it would have the same type of effect that it had with me to inspire students to come to class and just wanting to learn. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I did okay.